Hey guys, that's L.
That's Kay,
And welcome back to Low Key Fandomonium.
And featuring new location, i.e. my room. So, for our second video, that's 4, this is 2. Salty Sunday. This will probably not be the saltiest of Sundays, but for right now I'm going to say it's the saltiest of Sundays because I'm probably not going to have a lot to talk about next Salty Sunday.
Same.
So, I think we're gonna do crisscross, so I'm gonna go, she's gonna go, I'm gonna go, blah, blah, blah.
Spoilers. 100%
Oh,
spoilers.
Yeah. This episode will contain a lot of spoilers. I will list all of the ones down below that are gonna have spoilers, so there you go.
Yeah, just read the list before you actually watch the rest of this, because I don't want anybody getting mad that we spoiled something. We warned you.
Spoiler warning! Moving on! Okay, so first I'm going to talk about 91 Days. So episode 10 just came out, and you guys don't know how upset I am. I'm sure if you've seen it that you do. So she hasn't finished it. I think you said you were on like episode 6.
Yeah, she's briefed me on what goes down in
I don't
the
like
10th
giving spoilers, but oh my god, I had to. Like, she had to know, otherwise I was gonna spoil it for her anyway. So if you've seen it, or if you're still watching, I can't say I'm sorry because we already warned you about spoilers. Corteo dies. More specifically, he gets shot by Avilio.
Oh god. The babies.
Avilio is going to wreck them all. He's going to destroy the Venetti family. And if he doesn't, then I'll be sad. Oh, just the way that they killed him was absolutely ridiculous, and I will be salty about that forever. Like, I don't even want to watch the last episodes.
I'm probably not going to.
I can't watch them because they killed him! It's upsetting. Okay. Her turn.
Oh, you can cross them off as we go.
We have a list.
Oh yeah, guys, we ain't playing. So I'm, in the last video I mentioned that I'm forcing her to watch Hellsing.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, but I'm not making her watch Hellsing Ultimate because that's what I'm so salty about. Hellsing Ultimate starts the same way as the regular Hellsing. There's just more...
It's like that thing they did with Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, it's like more added features to it, which is weird, but they totally botched the ending. The ending is 100% different than the ending in the first one. I'm not sure if this was their idea of a season 2, like what if something changed and this is how it ended.
Kind of like a butterfly effect kind of thing?
Yeah, but the way they ended it bothered me so much. It was like this huge war, and like the main character becomes this big, great, being as a vampire, and then he has to like fight a priest, and then like they battle to the death, and then something happens, and then now he's battling his butler, and his butler's really awesome, and like his butler kicks his butt, and I'm so confused, but I hated it so much. Hellsing Ultimate was such a waste of time. Just stay with the regular one. Don't watch Hellsing Ultimate, just stay with the regular one.
Okay.
Fair warning.
I wasn't gonna watch Hellsing ever anyway, so...
Too bad.
I'm gonna watch it now because of the...
Just don't watch Hellsing Ultimate. I hate it so much.
Alright, and my next one is Orange. This was one of the... What are we in? Summer 2016 animes? Yeah. One of the ones that came out in summer. And episode 11 just came out. Episode 12 actually came out today, but I have not watched it yet. I can't. Because episode 11 ended with that whole Kakadu getting angry thing and storming off, and they're basically all worried for his safety right now, so I feel like this is going to cause some kind of really awful butterfly effect where it's going to just destroy all of them. And it's upsetting. It really is. Because he was, I don't know when he was supposed to have died, but I don't think it's happened yet, and it's coming up. It's bad. I just want them to save him. He needs to be saved. It's not okay.
Oh god, he sounds okay.
I watch too many angst animes.
I don't think I'm gonna do that one, so I'll just skip that one. Oh, are you done?
Hmm?
Oh, now I'm gonna be salty about my favorite anime. I'm not sure if the new episodes came out already, but I'm not 100% caught up on the new episodes that have probably been released. But One Piece, there are character developments that didn't really need to happen, or they probably should have happened but didn't. But the one thing I'm super salty about is the fact that my favorite character, Law, is on the same island as his crew that he hasn't seen in almost, I would say, a few months, almost a year. He hasn't seen his crew. Like, his crew's been waiting for him on this island, and now he's here on the island, and his crew bumps into Luffy, and he's like, Beppo tells Luffy to tell Law that this is where they are and to come and find them because they really miss their captain. But then when they meet back up, Luffy doesn't say anything. Like, Luffy's so preoccupied with the whole welcoming that the Minks gave him. Like, it's like the civilization that's living on Zou is like the Minks clan. Mm-hmm. They're basically like part animal, part human. And so the fact that Luffy didn't tell Law either means that he forgot or he just is really preoccupied, and it bothers me because Law needs to know Beppo really wants to see him, and I don't get why Luffy hasn't said anything yet. I mean, based on what I've seen so far, that's where I'm at, but if he has said something, then sweet.
It feels like a continuity error or something.
Oh god, I just want them to be back together because them together is so cute. So cute. That's all I got.
I feel like I'm about to totally discredit everything I said in the first episode, but I'm really salty about Tsubasa, even though it is my favorite anime / manga, probably the manga more, because the anime is what I'm really salty about. The last 3 to 5 episodes of Tsubasa totally went off track from the manga. I don't know exactly what it was, but I think it was that they wanted to keep it child friendly. They didn't want to go into all the angst and like darkness that happens in the last like 10 volumes. What did they do? They totally, which doesn't make any sense to me because in the anime they right before they change the ending, they do Kurogene's backstory, which is dark. So I guess I know Clamp didn't like Funimation. They didn't like the way Funimation was doing Tsubasa, so I guess they just cut ties with them. So they were like, we just have to end the anime however we see fit. And then the OVAs are really messed up too, because they'll start right in the middle of an arc and you have no idea what's going on unless you've read the manga. It's ridiculous. Alright, your turn again.
Now we're back to one of my top favorite things, ones that, I will always
take to her grave.
Oh yeah, besides One Piece, this is the thing that I had before One Piece was Star Wars. All Star Wars. Animated series, comic books, the new movies, the old movies, all of them. But I'm really, 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 really upset about the way that they offed Darth Maul. I know that a lot of people really don't care about the Phantom Menace. I really know a lot of people really don't like it, but I feel like if Darth Maul would have lived, he would have been such a great character. Like, he would have advanced, and then something would have happened, they would have met up again, and then the story goes further from there. And in the animated series, they bring him back. So, he survived based on, Disney's version. He survived. He's alive.
Disney owns everything.
He's crazy, but he's alive. And then he comes back that was Star Wars The Clone Wars, he comes back and he's crazy. But then he comes back in Star Wars Rebels, and he's trying to, get a Jedi apprentice to be his own. So he's following the Sith path still, it's just, he's by himself. And I feel like there could have been a huge spin-off of him, but then they just offed him right there. I was like, seriously? It's not how this should have happened.
Why are you like this?
He would have been such a great character. I mean, look at the way he's advanced in the animated series and in books. My favorite book is Darth Maul Lockdown. He gets thrown in prison, and it's just him surviving. It's great. Like, why don't we have any more Darth Maul stuff? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
They just gotta ruin everything.
A little bit. Ruin my character development that I had planned in my head.
That's what fan fiction is for.
Fanfiction! There's not a lot of fanfiction about Darth Maul. If it is, it's sexual.
Write your own.
Will do.
The only fanfiction I've written is for Voltron.
I'll probably write a Darth Maul fanfiction, and it'll just be so much angst. Like, he gets hurt and he gets cared for by a Jedi. Oh god, that would be terrible!
See, fanfiction in the making right here, but she'll just never write it.
Gets cared for by Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the people who offed him.
She's having too much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay,
move
I'm
on.
done.
So, I'm gonna go back to Clamp, because they ruined my life. Card Captor Sakura / Card Captors, depending on whether you watched it in Japanese or in English. The voice acting is just the most awful thing ever. Like, if you've watched it, you know, like, as a kid, you never notice because it's a cartoon, and you're like, oh, I just,
Happy
whatever.
fun time.
Yeah, basically, happy fun time. You're like, Saturday morning cartoons, it's time to watch TV, like, whatever. So, and then you get older, you go back to read it for nostalgia purposes, or watch it. And you're just like, who chose these voice actors? Who thought this was a good idea? The only good voice acting in the entire animated, like, thing of Card Captors is the first movie. And they should have kept those voice actors, but for some reason they didn't. I don't know why. I probably should have looked that up or something. The voice actors for the second movie aren't so bad, but for the series are just, the English voice actors are just so bad. It's just terrible. It's like when they get an adult to voice a child.
There are times where that works.
Yeah, but most of the time it's just this adult trying to do
It's
like
like,
a squeaky voice to like do the child voice, and I'm like, can you not?
Wasn't a grown woman voicing Timmy from Fairly Odd Parents?
Probably.
It works sometimes.
It never works for anime though.
Oh.
They don't know how to do it. Because like the people that do the kids' voices never try to change their voice. They always just do this like really annoying squeaky voice to try to make themselves sound like kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're hurting my ears. My ears are in pain.
Okay. I'm not salty, like, I'm on the verge of being salty about this one. Like, I love it so much that there's a possibility that I can't be salty.
She's not on my salt level yet.
I'm almost
saltier than the Dead Sea.
So, I'm wearing a Punisher shirt, forever and always. But Punisher and Daredevil, I really enjoyed the crossover. I know you haven't seen it, but there's the crossover in season 2 where it's the Daredevil's new enemy isn't Fisk, it's the Punisher, and I was really excited about it. And then the way that it was ended, I get it, I understand it, I understand that, you know, Punisher gets hurt, he's really weak, so he talks about his past, and then the whole tear thing, and I'm like, yeah, sweet, that's nice. But then he gets thrown into prison, and I understand why, and then he meets Fisk, and then he gets released because of Fisk, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but then is he just gonna disappear? Like, is Punisher not gonna be in season 3 of Daredevil? I understand they're making a TV show just for him, but is he gonna be doing both inside Daredevil and inside his own show?
That seems unlikely.
That's what I was like, so he's just
I think
gone.
He's just gonna be gone from Daredevil.
He's just gone. So, like, the way that they ended is he's getting released because of Fisk. Mm-hmm. Fisk is, like, the big gangster of the town. Like, he rules everybody, even inside the prison. So, he has the leverage to let him go. Why would you let someone like the Punisher go? He's the Punisher. He could literally level everyone in that city. And you let him go.
He's just gonna be gone.
But
stress and suffering.
You can't let him go. He's a person that you don't let go.
Maybe if it was one TV show, but if he's getting his own, then he's gonna do the disappearing act.
Do not want.
I don't want this episode to run on for days and days and days, because I could be salty forever. But I think I'm just gonna smash these two together because they're both kind of awful. So first, I'm gonna do Clannad. I hate it. I hate it. I don't see the appeal. Everybody loves it. Can you please give me an explanation without the hate? Because it would be fantastic. Because I can't find. It's very.
I thought you were done, and I was like, oh.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like the generic school life anime kind of thing. But then they kind of just drag it on, and then they do that whole thing with the robot and the girl in the alternate dimension, who turns out to actually be... Who's the robot? The robot is Tomoya, and the little girl is the daughter, and it doesn't make any sense.
There's robots in that anime?
Okay, that's after story.
I got really confused.
No, but the robot's in the first season too, isn't it? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I don't remember. I'm trying to.
There's robots in that anime?
And then the whole if you catch a wisp of light, you get a wish thing. Like,
was this Peter Pan?
When did magic get involved? You can't just take a school life anime and say, "Oh, here, have a miracle of magic." Tell me how. So I guess at some point Tomoya catches a wisp of light and he wishes for his wife to be brought back to life, and that's how the whole turnaround thing came about. I don't understand. And then the next one that I'm not going to go into great depth in is Sunday Without God, because the ending was such bull. Well, the whole last couple of episodes were kind of bull. So the girl wants to save the world. She wants to save the world that God has abandoned. And so they go on this quest to find out how they can open the gates of heaven again, or something like that, to get God to let people back into heaven, so people go back to dying normally on Earth or whatever. But then it goes off into this whole tangent side story in the last couple episodes where they're helping this guy, which is really cool, but that's the end. They totally abandon their quest, and then it's over. It just didn't make any sense to me.
That's true. Okay. Forgive me, but I forget almost all names of characters in most animes that I watch. So if I say that one guy, give me a second, I'll describe what he looks like.
That one dude.
Tokyo Ravens. I really enjoyed the anime. You should watch it. It's very nice.
I will eventually.
I explained what it was in the previous episode. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go back and check it out, because most of the animes that we're ranting about were mainly in that.
Probably.
Mainly in that first episode. But they kind of turn my favorite character. Now, you already know this, but my favorite characters tend to be
the douchebags.
Yeah.
To put it lightly.
Yeah. They're the mean characters that no one likes, or they have a tragic backstory, and because of that backstory they're really mean.
Who was your favorite character in Death Parade? The Ginty?
Yep.
Her favorite character was Ginty. Okay.
I like people with terrible backstories, and their life is still bad right now. I don't know.
They're just rude and aggressive to everyone in general.
Aggressive people are great. I think they form the story great. But my favorite character, they call him the Ogre Eater, and he hates it. But I totally forgot his name as a favorite character. I'm terrible. But they turn him into the bad guy. I mean, I get that he was basically the bad guy anyway, but he wasn't so bad. But then they turn him into the bad guy, and he's like, I have to kill all of you now because you're in my way. And it's like, why? You could have gone through this entire anime and been perfectly okay and just been that kind of guy that shows up every few episodes and goes, hey guys, still hate you, and then walks away. That's him. Why? Kagami? Is that his name? But they turn him into the bad guy, and bothered me so much, because it would have been so much better if they just left him alone. They would have just let him go away, go do his job, and then come back later and be like, still hate you, and then just leave. That would have been perfect. That would have been fine. But no, they had to make him the bad guy.
Well, what are you gonna do? Suffer is what you're gonna do.
Suffer. I probably won't talk about the next one. So.
So, we're gonna talk about ones that we're both salty about now, because we can both rank together and it's pretty legit. So, the first one is Gangsta.
No, my
It's
child.
simultaneously one of our favorite animes and the one that causes us the most grief and strife.
I'll watch it forever, though.
Yeah. I think that the thing that makes us so salty about it is the fact that it got canceled.
It is so far. There's still some news floating around that it might come back.
Yeah, but I'm worried that it's not going to have the same voice actors because it's with a different producing company now, because the one that was producing it went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And that the animation style is going to be different.
No, they can't change that. They will not change that, because that's what makes Gangsta Gangsta, is the animation style.
Not dramatically, but just like
little
things that we're still gonna notice.
Like, oh, Nick's hair is different.
Like that nitpicking thing that we all hate.
That's us.
Yeah, it's like me personified.
But story-wise,
yeah,
what makes you so salty?
Story-wise,
I have so many, but I'm gonna narrow it down to one. Like, joint.
I think it's not even in the anime. I'm most salty that Marco is never gonna get like an OVA or anything.
But he gets a manga.
But I want to see it animated.
True.
I love him. I love Marco.
Story-wise, I'm upset with the fact that we didn't get a backstory on Nicholas and Veronica and their whole relationship thing.
Well, they haven't even done that in the manga yet, have they?
No. Not at all. Not that I remember.
No,
but Nick and Veronica have a relationship. It's obvious that they have a relationship of some sort, but the fact that we got absolutely nothing, and then the fact that the anime ended before...
The anime ended right before that fight scene. He was about to run off to the fight, like...
Nicholas gets jacked up.
He was about to run off into the fight, and they're just like, oh, last episode, that's it, that's all you get.
Nicholas gets jacked up.
Afraid.
Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
They go to the doctors, like, after the whole fight, and he's like, you have to save...
Because I was reading the manga.
The guy that Delica
But I
shot.
just want to see it animated.
I'm so sad. Like, I love this anime so much. I keep an ear out for gangster, like, blogs or gangster, you know, like, anything that comes out with gangster in it. I'm like, alright, is there any news about a season 2 or a possible new volume? And I'm... nothing.
This is the seal of sadness.
Oh, God.